It's an amazing feeling, right? Because we've been working on those songs, the album, the whole thing for a long time. I mean, there was like this big high, the big break because of COVID, because of Dave had cancer. And so it was like, we want to put those songs out, this feeling, so it was a great feeling to finally show to the fans, to the media, to the world, our tracks. And and then we were there in Europe. First song we were in Zurich, Switzerland. So I remember. Yeah. So it's a great feeling to finally to show the work that we've been doing for a long time. Yeah, the videos. Well, the whole album. I wouldn't say is a conceptual album, but I mean, every album has a concept. Every piece of art, the artist is thinking about a concept, and Megadeth itself as a band, it is a concept. The name, Vic, the music, everything is tied in one thing, which is we call Megadeth, right? It's a very clear style. The band has a very clear identity, right? So when I joined the band, I was like understanding this identity, the concept, and then so I can give ideas inside this identity. And of course, the album has that, but it's not as a classical, I don't know, progressive band conceptual album with the storytelling. But yeah, there's a concept, the name of the album, the Sick, the Dying, the Dead, and so the videos, yes, they have a story. The videos, so the songs connect with that. But yes, we put out 2 videos, right? Part of this storytelling, and more stuff will be shown in the future. This I can promise. Following this idea of those videos, so we have to be continued, right? And then the song "Soldier On," it doesn't have this video yet. It was just like a visualizer for the YouTube. Is mainly the song, and then song has been just played in radios and things like that throughout the world. So yeah, it's like when you release an album, that's kind of you just keep like the first song, the first single, second single, third single. But this time we came with the videos, and the videos they have a story behind, and then it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I think nobody's doing that. I mean, it used to be a thing long time ago, 80s, early 90s, to have like those long videos, kind of with story behind. You can see the quality of the videos, the acting, the whole thing. So this is like, we don't see that anymore, So also like always was a way that to bring back this music videos that they have a story, and then they can be, they have a long, if you put together the 3 videos, and you have like almost like a short, movie, right? So the songs, we were working on the songs, they were not recorded, but we had pretty much all the songs done before the pandemic, right before the pandemic. And we went to Europe for a tour, and then we're about to come back. Actually, we're about to go to Mexico for the Hell and Heaven Festival. If I'm not right, yeah. Anyways, it was like March, right? I think it was like mid-March, the festival. And by the way, well, anyways, like it's sponsored by the beer. Like, anyways, it's kind of, but it's not funny. But it was interesting, it's like going to the festival. But then we didn't go to the festival because being in Europe, we were kind of a bit ahead of the news, because back then, like 1 week was a big gap, what was happening in China, in Europe. So we didn't go to Mexico. So we didn't, because the idea was to go to Mexico and go to the studio to start recording drums. So everything collapsed, right? Everything. All right. So as anyone in this planet, everybody stopped, stayed home, and see what's going to happen. The first month or the first 2 months. So we're kind of waiting. Of course, talking. Meetings like this. Zoom calls and getting stay together. At some point, which I don't remember, like maybe 2 or 3 months in, Dirk drove to the studio instead of taking airplane. He drove to the studio, and then he recorded the drums. And then later, like around September, I went to the US, and then I recorded all the guitars. So kind of during the pandemic, but it was a bit more under control. And then I went there, and I went to Nashville, actually, to the US. I was in the US, but I went to Nashville. Dirk drove to Nashville. So we kind of slowly kept things going. And then Dave, by himself being Nashville, he started doing his parts, the guitar parts, the vocals, finishing all the things. Then small little things that it's always in the very end of the process. You always have like this extra idea, little things you want to add to the songs. So the guitars that I added later, I did remotely. Some stuff, 5%, I would say, 5-10% of the guitars I did remotely. And then it's like when to release, and and then of course, then this in a way gave time. It was bad, of course, because it kind of delayed the release, but also gave us time to listen to the songs better, to change the little things, to put all those candy stuff, like the extra little things, and then be certain about the same for the lyrics, the same for the artwork, the same for the whole concept. So have more time, so it can, refine things, So I think that was very good for the album, and also gave us time to do the videos as well, to release their songs with the videos. Otherwise, it's hard to say what would have been, but probably the songs would be out in the videos later. With this delayed situation, it was possible to release the first song already with the videos. So that was pretty cool. And so everybody, so many. I think we came out with very good solutions for the situation of the pandemic situation. If you compare to the suffering of so many people around the world, right? All right. So the creative process is very hard to put in words, right? First of all, you probably write your stuff, you do your stuff, you have your creative output too. It's hard to explain. But in Megadeth in general, I would say it doesn't start with the lyrics. It starts mainly with riffs, guitar-based stuff, right? So this is it's a common thing. It is not always like this, but it's a common thing to have the guitar riffs. It's a guitar band, right? All the songs throughout the years, you can feel the guitar riffs are kind of the main thing, or at least like the foundation of the songs. And of course, the concept of the lyrics also, maybe the title of the lyric. You don't need to have the whole lyrics, but you might have a title or like a subject you want to talk about. You don't know yet how you're going to place the words, but you want to talk about certain thing. So have the riffs and that kind of subject, and then you start kind of building like Lego. Okay, should we repeat two times this part, and what about this one? Oh, it's missing something. It's missing another part, or it's missing a guitar solo. It's missing let's break down and bring an acoustic thing, or let's start with an acoustic thing like Dogs of Chernobyl. Let's start with like that vibe, with the sound, with sound design, with putting the journey of putting you there around in Chernobyl, right? So all this you start building, but it starts with the riff. Like kinds of Dogs, you have the riff, and then we wanted to do like some kind of a classical guitar intro that could take you to that place. And then you start working on, you grab your classical guitar and try to find ideas that would fit. So I might come with 2, 3, 4 different ideas. It's like, okay, this one is the one, So that's the way we work. And then I remember specifically the song Dogs of Chernobyl. I think it was the first song that Dave came with the title. Okay, I have this title. And then kind of the image of, the story behind the band on Dogs of Chernobyl. And then what are you going to talk about? I think he didn't know yet. I don't know. But it was mainly like that concept, that image. And then as creators, we see a lot of stuff. I mean, we play notes, but we see, imagination. We see things. So when you say this abandoned dogs of Chernobyl, the way they are, like with their radiation, so we see something, and then how to translate that into guitar riffs, and then how to put the listener or ourselves in that place with music, and then it comes the knowledge of our musicality that we're able to turn those feelings into notes, I see. I tend to see myself divide myself in 2 different players there, right? So I have the Kiko, the composer. I want to write riffs with Dave and propose riffs that would fit the Megadeth legacy. And Dave, as the riff master, he's like, "Oh, this is cool. Let's use those riffs." So I think in the end, it was like that was my main approach. It's like to bring ideas like the first stages of the songs, like the first riff, So I have a lot, like 8 collaborations with Dave. So I brought a lot of ideas on different songs, some more, some less, and then this is like that was most of the part of the process was more like me trying to work with Dave as a composer, creating the songs that part that I told you, like riffs, Lego, build songs, and then okay, this is a place for a solo. But I'm not thinking yet about the solo. I'm thinking about song. I know I can play a solo there, or maybe Dave's gonna. We don't know yet, but it's gonna be a solo guitar solo there. But it's more about the song. So most of the time, it's more about the song, and then we know the places. And then because we're guitar players, we can imagine what kind of solo will fit there. And then there comes the moment. Then you normally record all the rhythm guitars first. So drums are recorded, bass are recorded, rhythm guitars are recorded. And then, okay, so then you start doing the solo. So the solo comes after. And then most of the time, right? And then now it's the Kiko guitar players and thinking about the scales, the techniques, and the arpeggios, whatever, melodies for solo. And now you have the song is kind of done. You have like pretty much what the song is going to be about. And then you record here and there. Sometimes you guys like, oh, I wish it could be a longer solo, or this is enough. Or maybe sometimes, maybe not a solo here. Let's put more lyrics. That can happen too, or switch parts, when you're doing when you're in this phase of the composition, you might sing in where you thought would be a guitar solo, and you might play a guitar solo in a verse part. Megadeth has that. A pop composer doesn't have that. Megadeth has this song structures that are not so clear. Not, some songs you have like a verse and then a guitar solo, then the verse repeats, then it's only a riff, and then the chorus, or maybe a guitar. It's like not linear, like verse, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, solo. Like very easy structure. Some songs from Megadeth, 90s, they follow a bit like this. Like Symphony of Destruction follows that. All right. I think the whole experience, like the creative process, well, the main difference is we have Dirk on drums, right? So that would be a different drummer. And the drummer is a really important piece, like very important to define the style and the sound, overall sound. And Dirk is such a great drummer. It's like unbelievable. His musicality and capability. And then, of course, he brought, and he plays for real, everything. So it's like very natural, organic at the same time. And I think that's one of the reasons that gets this aggressiveness of the music, because it's just like a real human being just hitting hard drums. There's no, like whatever, corrections, electronic corrections or samples or things on top of the drums that make it, it's just like this human being playing, and then I think that's a cool thing of Megadeth, and the same goes for the guitars, because once you have the foundation like that, the drums, and then you can add the guitars on top of that. So it's more organic because it's not super perfect, although we play as much as we need to sound perfect, but it's still us playing, and so I think that's a great big change compared to other albums, because of a different musician has a different character. Talking about myself, when I recorded Dystopia, which is a great album, and it was a Grammy winner and stuff like that, right? So like super well accepted by the fans. So it's an amazing album. I went straight to the studio, and then I didn't know Dave that well. I didn't know the fans that well. I didn't know the legacy that well. I knew from the outside, as you know, and all the fans know. But when you were there inside, I did many years of touring, and so I got to know better, not only what is Megadeth, who is Dave, and also the fans in different countries, which they're different. They're similar, but there's like, of course, specific different things. And then also playing the Dystopia songs, but also when you play live, you play the whole catalog. So you get more intimacy with the whole thing. So for me, it represents the intimacy of knowing more Megadeth. And that's why I believe this is not represented on the guitar solos, because this is represented on the possibility of really bringing ideas to the band, and people will say, "Oh, this is Megadeth," but actually Kiko wrote, because I understood, like riffs like the "We'll Be Back," riffs like the Night Stalker, those riffs I brought to the band, and then it's like, okay, people listen, it's like, oh, Megadeth is back, it's like, so that was my change, understanding for real what is Megadeth from the inside, Well, definitely has Night Stalker is the fastest. I think there's an aggressiveness from I don't know, because of the situation, the whole pandemic, and we were like writing the songs kind of when we were together when Dave was doing the chemotherapy. So we were there with Dave, but we could see him coming from the chemotherapy, and he was there working with us, trying to win the battle. And I think that, looking now from a distance, we can see, maybe if the fans say so, if people say, like, listen, it's like, oh, this is the most aggressive album, because we're like inside, right? So I always like to listen what people are going to say about the album. And if people come and say, like, this is the most aggressive album, I will look back and say, like, wow, that's because we were working, and the guy was like fighting to survive, and then we were working together, and then the pandemic came, and then we didn't know what was going to happen. And I think this is represented there, right? The music, so that would be my explanation. But for me, it's hard to say if it's I can say like facts. We have Night Stalker. You can see the beats per minute, the BPM. It is the fastest, Dirk plays those fast stuff easily. So we have this drummer that can like, okay, not a problem to play those things. And then that gives us and then you have Dave with all his fury, So, and then if we're there, like back him up and the Dirk and myself. And so, yeah. And then he was like with the suffering of the cancer, the battle and all that. So yeah, I believe so. I believe so. And doing what we want to do. Right? Uh, well, my first memory from Mexico, it comes from the Angry Times. Um, so that was 98. And then, yeah, 99 maybe. I might be wrong, 99. But anyways, it was like, it's not because I'm talking to you, but when I think about my trips, there's always the first time in the country. And then it's like unforgettable, And then my first time in Japan, unforgettable. Some countries, make you like, or, change your perspective, or, just make a tattoo in your brain, in your memory. And Mexico is that first visit was one of those moments. I remember coming back with like a tourist, and I had in my house the tequila bottle, the arrows, the hat, that's like a gigantic sombrero that I didn't know where to put that thing because I had like this. I bought so many things, but mainly visiting the pyramids there, the Teotihuacan. How do you call this? The city, the 1 hour from DF, the pyramids. Yeah, right. Teotihuacan. Yeah. So that visit there, I remember going to in Guadalajara. We went to a TV show in the morning, and I saw those guys playing. It was so beautiful. And then I will never forget. They were like doing a live presentation in the morning there for the TV show. We were there to interview, and it was like an amazing thing. It happened to be in the Independence Day when we were there, so we had a day off, and then going on outside in the streets and then eating the food and then it was an amazing experience. And then the people, because and then it's a Brazilian band. I'm talking about when I was there with Angra. And then the people, I don't know, the Mexican, they love the Brazilians, and the Brazilians love the Mexican. Maybe it comes from the World Cup there, like in the I don't know. There's some kind of, maybe it's the Chavo del Ocho. I don't know, because we love Chavo del Ocho. And then that's like, is like the Mexican, like this, the jugo de tamarindo is like the other things. It's like, that's our Mexico, in a way. And then, I don't know, it has like this great feeling. So I always felt very welcome, for everyone. It's like, it's a very nice place to be, beautiful country, because all the pyramids, this crazy thing that we didn't know. Being in Brazil, we kind of isolated from the other, because of the language, the America Latina, because Brazil's like, it's Portuguese, so we kind of get, and then suddenly like, man, this place is amazing. Look the history, look the people, the food, and then the food that we know, because we go, you have always a Mexican restaurant is always the best choice. Japanese and Mexican food is always like, and Italian, of course, but pizza always saves. But yeah, so I mean, I cannot not tell you the first, because after that, I came all the times. I did guitar clinics or with Megadeth, and now it's like, I know this place, I love this place, I want to go back. And yeah, and Oh, and then it happened to be when I was then I was like living in California, and I had the chance to meet so many people, or Mexicans, or son like Roy Z, or like people that has the heritage, American guys that descendants, or like Angra, the manager from Angra is a Mexican guy that lives in Brazil. So we have always this Mexican accent around. It's like I just love it. Yeah, and then all the memes about my name is about the Kiko and when I'm gonna have my square guitar, because of Kiko, the square ball, right? So I don't know if you're into the Chavo del Ocho, but like right? The Chavo. Yeah. So all the memes that is like is me, like the Kiko learning the acoustic guitar with the Professor Girafales, and then there, or it's like me on stage with the Kiko face. That's always. So I'm connected with Mexico. Well, Megadeth website. Um, so Megadeth, you can find a Facebook or Instagram. Um, so TikTok, and all the videos on Megadeth YouTube channel as well. You can find the songs, the new videos. If you didn't have the chance to watch it, go and watch it. My channels, Kiko Loureiro, right? So if you put Kiko and guitar, probably gonna see me. If you just put Kiko, you're probably gonna see Kiko from Chavo del Ocho. But so I always put like Kiko, just Google Kiko and guitar, and then you're gonna see me. So find my Instagram and my YouTube channel. I'm always posting stuff about Megadeth or playing guitar and things like that. I do have the guitar community that follows me a lot. So I talk about guitars and techniques and things like that, and Megadeth and lifestyle as well, showing the tour behind the scene, behind the scenes and on tours. So I really love to interact with people on social medias and do interviews like this one. So it's just come and hang, leave your comments and. Um, Night Stalker is one of them, right? And Dogs of Chernobyl. Hola, soy Kiko Loureiro de Megadeth. Un saludo a todos y quiero invitarlo a escuchar el nuevo single We'll Be Back, del nuevo álbum The Sick, The Die, and The Dead. Cheers. Saludos.